What's good, YouTube land? That Weird Collector here. Now, I said in my video on Scourge, which I posted maybe like a day ago, I said something to akin of Titan's Return is releasing the 3 Decepticon headmasters, at least the 3 most popular ones. Well, I went ahead and bought the first one available. The only one available in Wave 1. It's goddamn SkullCruncher. Except it's not, because now it's SkullSmasher. But that's still an awesome name. We pull back a bit. So here we have Transformers, Generations, Deluxe Class, Titan's Return, SkullSmasher! That's quite a sentence. But we'll take a look at the box. Up here you have a picture, the same picture for every single Titan Master packaging. The Transformer being either decapitated or his head reattaching. You have obviously the figure here, his accessories, Grax, and you can't see that. Come on, bow down, camera. Grax and SkullSmasher. Titan's Return. Give you a good close-up. It's funny how the headmaster got to keep his name, but the big robot didn't. Nothing there. Just the same picture. Obligatory product shots. 11 steps. 1 step. 11. Where the Minicon goes. Nah, damn it. Why did I just say Minicon? Where the Titan Master goes. And just like Scourge, there's a bio on the package for the Headmaster. So, here. Grax masks the energy signature of the bot he's bonded to, making SkullSmasher invisible to the Autobots. Which is actually kind of cool. And then the Titan's Return stuff, it works, are compatible with Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader. And then there's also available Terry Bull, Scourge, Galvatron, Blaster. The other 2 Deluxes in this wave are Blur. I believe it's Blur. And freaking Hardhead. So I went with this guy because of Thew's awesome Transformers reviews is all really that I know about SkullSmasher here. It's kind of funny that Thew's most recent video is this exact toy, and he convinced me to pick it up, so I picked him up at the same time as Scourge. So now I'm going to open him, and I've learned my lesson, and I'm gonna speed up the opening of the packaging. So we'll get right into the meaty bits in a minute. So here he is, opened up and out of his packaging. And before we get to the figure, here is the collector's card with the same piece of artwork that was on the box and his tech specs. He is definitely quite strong. Not that fast though. He's not stupid either. Firepower is a bit low, but wow. Grax really is the brains of this operation apparently. Or sorry, the speed. spit strength and firepower. Oh yeah, his speed goes way up when he's with Drax, obviously, because he's a robot at that point. So very nice, very thick, like thick cardstock. Definitely thicker than the Combiner Wars ones. At least in my opinion. I haven't felt the Combiner Wars ones in a while, but I do love me some cards. And the instructions, which I still failed to fold up properly. But oh well. Here he is in his beast mode, and he's got a goddamn alligator. Like I'm trying to. Like, I've got a goddamn alligator now, or a crocodile, whatever. I don't really know. But yeah. I also don't know much about SkullSmasher. I'm getting crap off my table. But apparently he was a Titan Master in G1. More active in the Japanese version of the cartoon, from what I've heard. And he's a pink and green alligator, which is just ridiculous. But look at him. Behind this shirt, because my background is literally just a t-shirt, are all my beast formers, and I gotta say he's probably not the weirdest one. He's probably the most normal in my collection, minus the Beast Wars guys I have, or the Beast Wars Generations ones I have. But I love this alt mode. It's just ridiculous. Like, let's look at all the detail. He's got tons of spikes everywhere. He's got silver, purple, and black. It's a very nice color scheme indeed. Plug his head back in. God! That's one problem. I've only been playing with this guy for a couple seconds, is his head doesn't plug in very well. It's got a hinge and a hinge, and it just doesn't seem to want to stay. And he's got this. Whoops. That wasn't meant to happen. That wasn't supposed to happen right away. But, yeah, he's quite long. Because Kibble, the tail piece, and his head. For comparison, here he is with a Legends, the Legends Insecticons, Bomb Shock, and Scrapnel. And I'm so excited because I heard that they showed off the third Insecticon at New York Comic Con in Legend scale, and I still want that guy. I don't remember his name, or the name they're using, but I do remember he was... Little story, I guess. I'm pretty sure I've told this before, but I actually played with the G1 toy of the other Insecticon as a kid. Although I didn't know it was a Transformer, and I didn't know it was Generation 1. All I knew was that he had a flip-down gold panel in his chest, and his legs extended. I didn't know he transformed in anything. I don't even know if he was mine or if he was a friend's, but yeah, he has them. He brings back memories, and I can't wait. Well, I can't, but I don't want to wait to pick him up. But yeah, here's how he scales with the Legends. These are the only G1 updated Beast Formers I have now. I guess they're not Beast Formers, they're Insecticons. But yeah, he can literally carry him on his back. Boom, 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 boom. So get that out of the way, and just because I know somebody's going to be asking, here he is with a movie Dinobot. Again, zoom out a bit. You can see he is still quite bigger than a most recent beast former. Don't remember this guy's name, actually. Right, we'll put him off to the side. He's got 4 articulation. Some of it's robot articulation, some of it's not. We'll mostly just cover the beast mode stuff. His head, his alligator head, is on a ball joint. So it goes, and his neck can come off. God, his neck's only connected like right there and there, and these pegs are not the most dead solid connection. Yeah, he's got a ball joint neck. He's got a fully openable mouth, like with a wide range, and inside he's got an actual tongue and teeth. 2 sets of teeth, so you can go ah, ah. I love this head. Yeah, the thing about G1 Skull Cruncher is I've seen the toy, and in his mouth was his basically studio apartment for his headmaster Grax, but they've changed up in this deluxe update. They've given him an actual alligator mouth, so now he looks more like a threat to, I don't know, Rat Trap, maybe. I don't know who he's gonna fight, but in this mode. But yeah, he is a freaking pink bottom jaw. That is campy and hilarious. His claws can move up and down. That's more for transformation. It can go in and out. Again, that's actually more for robot mode bits. Excuse me while I try and figure this. Because, like, I want this to look as good as it's possible. And I believe, oh, they peg in right there. Well, huh. I didn't actually notice that. Where is he? Peg in. I can't find the peg hole. I can't see it. Oh, it's just a slot. I think. Whatever. Yep, and then we'll plug the head back in. Oh my god. It's actually taking way too much time. My apologies, people. If any of you are if there's anybody actually watching this. His back legs are just on a single joint, but they can go all the way around. He does have a waist joint, which is more for robot mode, and his tail can swivel and pop off. Because, hey, a hint to his transformation. He's also got this extraneous little white thing here, which we'll talk about in a minute. And the tip of his tail is gray plastic. So, for transformation, I don't think I need to speed it up. We'll take off this. What parts forming worst toy ever? It's not. And take out this thing, which is actually a gun. Put it off to the side. Flip this this thing up. You're going to get 3 transformations actually right now, because I'm going to transform those 2 after, because they're still in frame. So we're going to work on the legs. You're going to want to rotate. How are we going to do this? You're going to want to rotate the leg to, I think, there. I actually don't remember how this works. I think you want to go something like that. But you want to fold down the legs. Rotate. Actually, you don't want to rotate. But you want to keep them like this. And oh, they are on a bit of a ball joint, I think. They don't. Alright. We'll just. Oh, right. I'm a dumbass. They actually fit perfectly right in there. I don't know how much of that is on camera, but. Come around. You want to just clip them into the kneecaps so they stay in place. And then push the knee a little bit downwards, and then flip down his feet. And he's fucking... It's a girl walk mode. He can't stand up for shit, but... Hey look, it's a girl walk mode. What would you call this? The... Girl walk-a-gator? I don't know. Fold him right back into position. And then you're going to want to take his head and just fold it right about there. And then fold down the shoulder. They're on 2 joints. Rotate the bicep. Rotate the elbow. Click the claws right into there. And fold out his hand. And make sure his hand tabs in. It's going to be a soft tab, but you'll hear it's a little thump. You'll hear the thump. And second arm, same as the first arm. Down, out, flip out the hand, and thump. And there's his robot mode. But, you know, it occurs to me that he's missing certain something. You know, a certain headmaster, I believe, Titan Master. So where little Grax is actually in this flap of softer, different colored plastic. You flip it up. Oh look, he's been sitting right there. Yeah, and you flip it back in. If it wants to go right now. Alright, it went. Just gonna let him, actually, what's hilarious, you can do that. Whoop. You can do that. He's got his beast head now as his regular head. So let's take a look at little Grax here. And he's automatically infinitely better than Fracas. We'll see why in a couple seconds. So he's looking pretty cybergoth in his black and green. Apparently the G1 toy, the arms and legs were green and the inside was black. So he's actually a inverse version of his G1 self. Take a look at his head. It is basically a mini version of the head on his back. Like gold face and black eyes. It's on a ball joint, just like every generation's headmaster. His arms are on a ball joint, and they're instantly much tighter than Fracas's. If I actually take Fracas, Scourge's headmaster, his legs are way too loose, and his arms are quite loose. But here he is next to Grax, next to Fracas, Fracas next to Grax. I can't really. There you go. Just flip him into a head, and I'll put him back. I am enjoying the headmaster gimmick more than I thought I would. So yeah, ball jointed arms, and his legs right there are quite a bit tighter. Like this joint is still loose, but like this joint is actually tight. So like the legs won't go flopping around unless you force them to, which is nice. And there's the look at his head. Gold face, black eyes. Very cool. And I forgot that he had that, so I looked up and I was like, oh, he's staring right at me. But there is a Decepticon insignia on his forehead. He has nice pink eyes, and there's that. So, move him, and we'll plug in Little Grax. And here you have, if his feet will stay down, and if he'll actually stand. Will you stand, sir? You gotta actually chicken leg him a little. But there is SkullSmasher in his robot mode. And I like this guy a lot. It's hilarious looking at him. He's got a green shirt on, pink leggings, he's got pink knee-high boots, and he's got freaking pink gloves on with like whoop. As I've seen him described as well, my best guess in these like golden age sound effect bubbles ready up on his wrists, or I don't know. He's got he's got 2 pairs of brass knuckles. He's ready to punch ya. But that actually looks. This looks really fucking gimpy. Oh my god. Yeah, there are. As much as I like this guy, there are some issues with his robot mode, mostly in the legs. Now, one constant complaint I've seen throughout the Wave 1 and 2 of Titan Return, at least from most toy reviewers, is that the plastic quality or the engineering isn't the best, and the 2 guys I have so far aren't doing anything to change my mind. But basically everything's there from the beast mode, except he just flipped over and became bipedal. So you might be asking what this little chest panel is. Well, it's actually a paint app to represent the original chest panel on all headmasters, which you flip down to see their speed, strength, and intelligence. And which is a nice little Easter egg to the old G1 people collecting this. But it is just a paint app. It is kind of nice though. I like that attention to detail. Look at his. I like his waist, which is weird. He's freaking got he's ripped. Like he does a lot of core exercises, but it's offset by his freaking alligator flaps hanging out like a waistcoat or something. There is quite a bit of that boring gray plastic going on his thighs and his wrist guards, but the G1 toy had that as well. So this toy is basically the G1 toy put through a deluxe generations something. I forget the exact reference I'm using. But literally just a blurred out, updated G1 toy. Like nothing different. They didn't try anything at all. Articulation wise, his head is on a ball joint, so it can go 360 and wobble. It can look down a little. It can look up a little bit. His shoulders are actually really tight. Are on a ball joint on a stem, so it can go in and out. He can go. He can be permanent shrugging or hitting himself in the head with his shoulders. You can go really high shoulders like he's a football player. But we'll just put him into their normal place for now. Yeah, 360. Bicep swivel. Can go all the way around. an elbow joint, this swivel at his glove, which is more for alligator mode, and he's got a wrist joint which is better than Scourge because it actually soft tabs into place, but it's still easy to just pop off. He does have a waist joint, which Scourge technically has for transformation. His hips are ball jointed, which is the main point of contention on this figure. The hips and the thighs, because like he's got pretty loose ball joints, and he's got one majorly loose thigh swivel. That combined with like his overall top heaviness makes him quite hard to stand up properly. You have to like A-stance him or like chicken leg him. His knees are odd. They're double jointed, but you only get... Whoa! Hello! For the robot mode, you really only have that right there, or that for the transformation. But yeah, you can get 90 degrees and have a weird outward looking knee, or go there for 90. And his foot is very tiny, and just it's on a pin, so it just hinges up and down. But yeah, overall he's a very nice figure. We're not done yet. We still have accessories. So for accessories, oh my god, stand up, man! You've got this Bob standard little pistol. What's more boring gray plastic. Probably looks like the G1 version. I can't remember, but yeah, he's got a pistol, which in G1 was like a softening up gun. Gave him the consistency of rubber, so he could chew on them at his leisure. And you've got the tail, which this is actually a peg for his hand, and it can sit in his hand and look frickin' ridiculous. But but it's also got room for any Minicon, which I did figure out. I have to talk about Scourge again. I'm sorry. That little hole there, there's this little nubbin on the back of all of their legs, and that's actually what you use to tab them into any of the weapons, basically. So, now he's holding himself. That's real weird. And now he's holding his head in his tail. And the handle is on a hinge, so you can kind of use it as like a shield. There's a shield with a guy's head in it. That is morbidly hilarious, but let's put him back on. Yeah, at least with the G1 version, it had like its tail, and then it had a little sword that came off and attached, which was really derpy, but it didn't look as bad as this thing. Don't want to use this thing. So now, for size comparison, I'll bring in these two dudes, and I'll transform them. So